Greetings. We're entering a new approach to yoga realization today. It's called Blissful Brooding. So it's a way of reflection, a way of attunement that leads spiritward. It's an act, though. It can just be daydreaming, and we're trying to actually realize something. We're trying to get past all the thoughts and feelings that stand in the way of knowing we are spirit and seeing others, seeing one another as spirit. Brooding in the dictionary says to sit on and hatch, or to hover over and protect, or to ponder. So, looking at human beings and our history, looking at our lives, we often ask what's going on. And we're saying that blissful brooding can help you to find meaning, to find understandings, to find new ideas and new possibilities. As to what's going on, a yogi would answer, you are spirit, and you are here for experiences and discoveries called liberations by which you can live fully and freely in the consciousness you're a spiritual being, and recognizing spirit everywhere, participating in life at a spiritual level. So the yogi answers, you are spirit. Spirit is gradually revealing itself as you go through your days. Spirit's also within you, so spirit's expressing itself as you more and more clearly through your days. This happens day by day, but for most people it takes lifetimes before people discover their spiritual beings, know their own soul, and live centered in the soul. We humans don't know we're spirit due to ignorance. At several levels of our awareness, we have a false sense of self. With this false sense of self, we set our mind up with ignorant thoughts. And our feelings don't sense spirit, they sense, all the other stuff. And our senses are forever preoccupied with what's happening out there, so they tend to dominate our consciousness as well. So we're not aware of what's going on. We're not aware of our true being, and we're not aware of what spirit is trying to do in the world around us and through us. Instead, we're preoccupied and bound, limited by nature. Nature enchants us by making us so sense-dependent and physically engrossed, we can't discern, we can't recognize that nature, too, is formed from spirit. Nature is all forms of spirit. We don't recognize this because we are ignorant, living under delusions and confusions. We don't recognize, and perhaps when we start brooding, we don't recognize that spirit is striving to reveal itself through nature every day. Spirit is not trying to keep us ignorant. It's striving to reveal itself within us and around us. Nature is a wonder and a puzzle. And so the first yogis sat down when they had a chance and meditated, and they turned to nature for spirit to reveal itself to them. And they learned blissful brooding. No matter how sincerely and earnestly men and women wanted to live lives aware of spirit, nature's pull again and again kept them from going within and centering in their soul. Nature is very demanding, and nature keeps us ignorant of spirit. Physical human necessities for food and shelter usually prevailed, as they do today. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Each of you knows a lot about yoga or a little about yoga. You face and deal with your nature on a daily basis. But even the choir deserves to hear important truths from time to time, and even regularly. So all of you recognize, I trust, that you are striving to realize your spiritual nature while outer nature wants to preoccupy you and keep you from going within and discovering spirit. What are you doing about nature's pressures and pulls? Because if nature's winning every day and we don't get closer to spiritual awareness, we need help. So, regarding nature dominating our awareness, how are you doing regarding these issues, which come from thinking we're a small creature trying to survive in the world, with competitors and even predators after us? How are you doing about your selfishness, your natural tendency to be selfish? Greed, your sex drive, the drive we have within us to dominate, the drive to scheme in order to win. How are we doing in dealing with conniving? How are we doing about trying to fulfill ourselves without regard for others? Pondering these is very helpful. And this is the way they started out, the rishis, the yogis, the wise people of the distant past. Was it 5,000 years ago, or was it 10,000 years ago? We know it was 5,000 years ago. We have this sneaking suspicion it was over 10,000 years ago. People started along these lines of thought. We can prove the 5, but not the 10. Many people find nature's pressures so strong they give up, and nature binds them. They just live a creature existence without awareness of spirit. The creature level of human life, mainly instincts, are in charge. Birth, and then education, raise a family, pass on. Other humans recognize nature is pulling me away from a place I need to go. So we begin to reason more, not just yield to nature's pull and drive and pressure. We start to think things through, consider the possibilities, consider the consequences. And we start considering, are there other options? What is the best outcome here if I do this or that? Yogis call this reasoning level the human level, because humans can reason. We're not just living on instinct. And then a few people seek beyond thought into essence. Who am I? Who am I really? Who created all this and why? What is the source of life? What is the source of the universe? Yogis call this inquiry the spiritual level. We go from mainly creature consciousness to human consciousness to spiritual consciousness. So we have a treasury of yoga to help us deal with nature's pull and have a fulfilling life, not just being dragged around and pushed around. Bhakti yoga, we start with prayer and devotion. Our heart chakra awakens. We're aware of spirit, for example. There are other examples. Raja yoga, working with our life force, working with transmutation, affirming a higher will, attuning with a higher will. Jnana yoga, the wisdom yoga, not this, not this. We discard our thoughts and feelings until we discover oneness. In our oneness, we discover spirit. We see everyone and everything is made out of spirit, is a form of spirit. Tantra yoga, the yoga of transmutation, taking your yearning for a cigarette into thinking of God as you smoke, and gradually, God is enough, and you don't need the cigarette. I know of a fellow who was drinking whiskey. On one side, he had a little table beside him as he meditated. He's got beads in one hand and whiskey near the other hand. And one day he looked at the whiskey and he said, I don't need you anymore. And he threw it into the fireplace and he found his bliss. Excuse me. Excuse me. In all the higher, I got to say this again, in all situations you'll find as you work, the higher level of awareness can control the lower level of awareness. We can be spiritual and control our reasoning and our emotion. We can be spiritual and guide our creature self. Or we could be at the mental level, and in reasoning we can deal with our creature self. The higher level is able to control the lower level as we focus on levels from creature levels to human levels to spiritual levels. Whoever you are, it's vital to consider what you've done so far and what you are going to do about nature's pull. So we're going to talk about brooding on it in a while. Brooding can be a way of transformation. But moving on now in this theme, consider, what do your actions reveal about you? What does your work say about you? Is it sloppy? Is it really precise? Is it excellent? Is it thoughtful? Do you do competent work? Do you do kind deeds? You do heroic acts? Or are you engaged in negligence and pettiness? What do your actions and your words say about you? Where are you coming from? Your voice, your choice of words speak of you. Your loudness, your softness reveal something about you. What does your body and your posture, what does your manner reveal about you? What does your face, your countenance reveal about you? The clothes you choose to wear, what do they reveal about you? You reveal yourself, who you are, in many ways and continuously, every day. Similarly, a child reveals her or his parents in many ways. The child is clean, has manners, is thoughtful, can listen. There are all kinds of ways in which children reveal what kind of parents they have. Ramakrishna often said, a garden reveals the gardener. The ability, the sense of beauty of the gardener. Similarly, yogis find when we look at nature, nature reveals its creator to us. Nature is telling us about who created it, the gardener of nature. In beholding and appreciating a tree, a river, a sunrise, we can glimpse spirit. I learned in 1969 in the forest for 5 months. Sunrise and sunset, the trees were all shining, white, light, dazzling light. And gradually I was able to see spirit expressing itself all day long, even in the earth. You could see spirit in the earth. So we're saying a lot of revelation is going on. The way you behave and dress and speak and do actions reveals a lot about who you are in there. Similarly, children reveal what their parents are like. Similarly, nature reveals what God is like. So if we could observe these outer manifestations and brood on them, we very often can contact spirit from which these forms have form. So yoga aspirants meditate on many simple objects of nature, thinking they are manifestations of spirit, and focus on them in a brooding way, whereby they get to sense the spirit in that form and expressing and manifesting that form. Yogis love to meditate on a flower, a candle flame, a mountain, an elephant, a lion. The great Gospel of Ramakrishna was written down from the words of Sri Ramakrishna by Mahendranath Gupta, who was troubled. And Ramakrishna told him, meditate on still water. Whenever you see a pond, a lake, a tank, that's what they're called in India quite often, big containers of water. When it's still, when the water is still, just sit, and your mind will become clear. You'll begin to be experiencing a level of your consciousness that you're capable of, and these physical objects can represent an attribute of spirit very well and help you go beyond your troubles. Through appreciating nature, spirit can be directly experienced. You just appreciate the flame, the mountain, the elephant. After all, nature is made of the energy and substance of spirit. Similarly, some seekers intuited, hey, I'm a living being, I'm a creation too. So people began to contemplate their own form. I want to look at my form and sense the spirit that created me and maintains me. So there's mirror meditation. Some people just love focusing in that mirror and getting to sense their true self versus the appearance. Similarly, we meditate and just go inside without the help of a mirror. And gurus say, yes, look within yourself, look within nature, and you will find the creator of all this nature. Nature seeks to manifest spirit. If we give it a chance, nature will show us spirit. Its source, its essence. The main way we look at nature, or a little bit of nature, and then see through it into spirit, is called samyama, S-A-M-Y-A-M-A, samyama. The three limbs or the three steps of meditation, especially as noted by Patanjali, the man who wrote the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali over 2,000 years ago. And the three limbs of being able to meditate are concentration, gathering the awareness, gathering it, centering it, contemplation, being aware of its aspects, letting it reveal itself more and more and more. And then we recognize, we come to an awareness of spirit. And we behold spirit and we get absorbed in spirit. Absorption in spirit is called samadhi. So we go from concentration to contemplation to continuation. The awareness is so pure and clear it just flows into samadhi. Samadhi means the thing itself, pure spirit. And we forget that we are this little physical being for a while. We suddenly know we are spirit. And we are absorbed in that awareness. And it's breathtakingly wonderful. Your life changes with your first samadhi, when you know you are a spiritual being, and that all this universe is a manifestation of spirit. And you hopefully do these three steps, concentration, contemplation, continuation, often. as you meditate. You know how to proceed. One step becomes another, becomes another. So I thought we'd use another great way to see what's going on. And this way is not classical meditation. It's not concentration, contemplation, continuation. It's brooding. And it's fun. And it's what shall we say? It might be the best way to break through. Because very often we hear about samadhi and we're trying to have samadhi. Rather than just let the meditation bring us to samadhi, we're trying to force samadhi to happen, and it won't. Because our ego is trying to make something happen that it has to get out of the way of in order for samadhi to occur. This blissful brooding takes you more naturally and informally into those 3 steps of samyama. It's easier, it's more joyful, but it's also, what shall I say? It's not as effective. But in some cases it can be more effective because you're more relaxed. The best is concentration, contemplation, continuation. That's the best. But sometimes this is easier and more productive. So we're going to look at Chidbhavananda's Bhagavad Gita, his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. And the principle is, like a bird is sitting on its eggs, and it has a vacant look at the world because it's mainly concentrating on those eggs and the life that's going to be expressing in each of those eggs. You gaze with a vacant look at the world. Your attention is on the egg. Similarly in yoga, you are relating to nature, the outer world, with a vacant look. You watch nature passively. You allow your senses to engage a little bit, but that's not where your main attention is. You watch nature passively while attuning with your higher consciousness, mainly in these instances by meditating or putting considerable of your awareness in the heart chakra, inside the spine, back of the heart, but the whole chest sometimes feels full of spirit. So it feels full of wonderful energy or wonderful feeling. Let's call it wonderful feeling. So you sit calmly in an easy chair, and you gaze at the world while holding your awareness in your chest. And you just watch the parade of the world go by. Look out the window if you like. Passively watching the play. The insects, the birds, the wind blowing the leaf. Just passively watching nature while holding your awareness in your heart center. And that's all you have to do. We call it blissful breeding, pardon me, not breeding. Blissful brooding, because bliss comes in a while. We're seeking to calmly allow our consciousness to open to spirit, passively viewing nature while having your awareness in the chest area, the heart area, the love area. And blissful brooding can go on for half an hour. You can find suddenly you're aware of spirit, and all your efforts before were not that successful. As your mind becomes less full of thoughts, opinions, and intense sensations, because you're getting calm, the mind has a chance to recede into soul and spirit. Soul and spirit give your mind the ability to be conscious and think thoughts in the first place. So your mind is just, through this beautiful brooding, you just often just go back into soul. Like it's the most natural thing to do. We become more open to intuition, to the Buddhi witness consciousness, to being able to just witness the world without getting caught in it, witnessing nature without being caught. We sense oneness with other souls, perhaps. We have bliss, little touches of bliss or lots of bliss. We go to a place that's eternal, pure, painless, timeless, pure, and painless. Go to a place like that. We go to a sense of infinite love and light everywhere. You're succeeding in your blissful brooding. Of course, if you are letting your mind wander and get subconscious, you have all kinds of past memories. If you get all kinds of memories, especially painful memories, say, I'm not blissful brooding. I've got to focus again. Vacantly aware of nature through my senses, but holding my awareness in my chest. You need to stay on the eggs. You're focusing on the source of nature. You want to sense the source of nature, the source of being. Blissful brooding can make you super conscious, give you a higher level of awareness that's possible. If you get vacant and drowsy, that often happens at first. It takes a little practice to stay aware. It's a yoga skill that you develop. Viewing life like a bird is sitting on eggs. Vacantly watching, vacantly noticing nature through the senses while holding the awareness in the chest, in love or peace. That's blissful brooding. It will reveal to you that you are a spiritual being. There will be a hatching of spiritual awareness. I hope this is clear. There are all kinds of other things you can do once you become good at brooding. You can look at anything in nature like a stone, a tree, the sky, the sound, and blissfully brood on that and find spirit is the creator of it. It's kind of looking through that tree or stone into spirit. So when you're good at brooding, then you can also brood and get understanding of spirit expressed as your mother, your father, a sibling, a friend, a mentor. All of these develop from being good at blissful brooding. You can also look at your life, your childhood, your adolescence, your adulthood, your mate, your children, your career, your health. You can look and see spirit through blissful brooding on these phases of your life. You can look at your problems, your problem people, your sorrows, your joys, and yourself. Blissful brooding gives you a way to sit on a couch or an easy chair and with practice develop the knack so well that you can become aware of spirit in whatever you want to know, whatever you want to appreciate or understand. Blissful brooding, a marvelous practice, and I'm very happy to share it with you. God bless you and your blissful brooding.